right, guys, let's get to the next segment here as we talk about the season hinging on just two players. Seems a bit odd, but that's what's being kind of insinuated here by Zachary Perales of CBS Sports. He wrote an article called 50 Under the Radar Players Who Could Help Shape the Regular Season. And two Giants did make that list. I just find it a little difficult to think that just two players will make or break this team here. But like I said, these are what they're saying here. You got Darius Slayton, number one, who I do think, again, we've said this before on the show before, when they talk about, how great Jalen Hyatt looks and he's gained 20 pounds and blah, blah, blah. Like, okay, well, what about Darius Slayton, who by all accounts has also looked very good and is a deep ball catch guy who now is a deep ball thrower. This guy should look a lot better than he's looked, especially last year when he wasn't getting the ball as much because of Nabors getting force fed so much. But he said Slayton seemed to be a trade candidate every season, yet he just stayed in New York and stayed producing. Since Slayton entered the NFL in 2019, he's one of four players who have caught at least 200 passes on at least 15 yards per reception, alongside Justin Jefferson, A.J. Brown, and Mike Williams. Not bad company. Now, on a new contract, he's paired with Russell Wilson, who loves to throws the deep ball. Expect another consistent Slayton season with his usual share of explosive plays. And I think people also got to remember that most of his explosive years that he had, so to speak, and I want to say explosive like lowercase E-X-P, because let's be honest, he hasn't had the quarterback to go with his abilities yet. But most of his better years, he still had the oopsies, whatsies, where'd the ball go kind of stuff. The issues not catching the ball. He's been a lot better about that the last two seasons. He's put the work in, and he's improved that a lot. So I'm kind of curious on that part too, because all of a sudden you give a guy like Slayton a quarterback who can throw to what he succeeds at. You go ahead and also now throw in the fact that he's going to be sitting there, and actually be able to catch the ball when it gets to him. And you're not going to be as concerned. I'm going to be honest, he'll never have great hands, but you're not going to be as concerned as he used to be when he used to see it just breadbasket and go right through his hands. Because we saw plenty of times when Daniel Jones used to have a good deep ball back in the day. So I think this, honestly, depending on what happens with this offense, this could end up being like his best season he has. Like, this could be this year where all of a sudden he gets like 2-3 catches a game and that's it. But they're both like 20-plus yarders. Or all three, it's not bold.
Could be.
Like that kind of situation. And then all of a sudden you're talking about a guy who's like 1,000-yard receiver. Now, am I put money on that happening? No. But it's definitely a possibility. And at the very least, he should get back to what he used to do on a consistent basis of 700 yards after having his 500-yard season now. He's consistent. He's been great his whole career like that. Underrated. We've always said that. I feel like we've probably spoken highly of Darius Slayton more than any other Giant contact creator out there. We've been always pretty big on him.
Yeah. Always. I mean, yeah, you have to be. And we called it out a couple years ago when we started the show. When Debo didn't resign, I'm like, hey, this is the only play that we've had that had over 7 yards consistently.
Yep. With Daniel Jones.
And we beat that drum.
Shay says, Drew taking hallucinogens for the pod. Just wait for that. Wait for that sound. Wait for that sound. Russell Wilson and Darius Slayton. The second player, Deonte Banks, a 2023 first-round pick. Banks followed up a strong debut with a disappointing second year. The numbers bear it out. He had a 90.6 passer rating, 8.6 yards per attempt as the primary defender in 2024 after 67.5 and 6.9 respectively in 2023. The Giants have a fearsome pass rush and newcomers Javon, Holland at safety and Paulson, Adebo at cornerback, but Banks improving might be the key to tie it all together. Yeah, I'm not counting on that, guys. As much faith as I have in Slayton, I have that much in the opposite of lack of faith in Deonte Banks. I don't trust it.
Yeah. I mean, he's also been like, he was thrown into a tough spot last year as a sophomore.
He was.
And it wasn't fair to him. He was thrown into a tough spot to begin with his freshman year and kind of kept afloat, but didn't look great.
Yeah.
And then with the schedule last year, with the amount of top-rate receivers that he had to cover, he crumbled. We did not do him any justice. If anything, we DJ'd him thus far. We did not give him we didn't give him the chance to excel.
We do that on such a regular basis. It's so sad, but you're 100% right. I mean, he didn't look good his first year against top flight receivers. And then we automatically made him a CB1 with no basically, person in there to go ahead and compete. And the Giants had to know somewhat at the very least, because the Giants went ahead and, tried everything they could to get another corner in there. They eventually got Adoree Jackson in there just to have another body in there. Like, they knew what they were doing to this kid, and they still didn't. They tried to draft a corner in the second round. And what happened? They didn't get him. They got, Drew Phillips later on in the third, but he's a slot receiver on an outside. Like, they did everything they could except for actually do it.
Yeah.
Like, they put him in a bad spot, point blank. And I still say, looking back on it, and that's hindsight 2020, obviously, but looking back on it, they should have done something like, even if they had to go get a Stephon Gilmore, who we didn't necessarily want to get, just somebody to stop this kid from having to be CB1 when he clearly wasn't ready. And then you put him out there, he's like the bane of, upsetting all the Giants fans week in, week out. And then eventually he had a meltdown. And we stopped even trying. And I got to imagine there was something behind the scenes with Jerome Henderson, too, because he's not there anymore. They got fired the secondary coach, who was a damn good coach, as soon as the season was over.
Yeah. It was like something was happening behind the scenes, like you said, that we had no idea about.
Be nice to know. But we
so
probably never will.
If you're listening, come on board.
Yeah. Come on the show, Jerome.
Yeah.
He would never, but still. It'd be fun if he did.
You're not part of the Giants organization. You can talk all the trash you want on the show.
You can.
We want the dirt.
Can stop you now.
Yeah.
Not for contractual reasons, that's the least. Probably won't be the best look if you go for another job in the NFL. I assume he already has one, even. I mean, like I said, he's a really well-known guy. He's, been in the league for quite some years now. Let's see here. He is up. A snippet on Wikipedia, cut it right off. Let's see here. Coaching career. Where'd he go? He's actually the Colts defensive backs coach now. So him and DJ are hanging out in Indianapolis together.
Definitely good luck.
Yeah, not good when you're taking the leftovers of the Giants. Just saying, not good. But what do you think? I mean, am I crazy for thinking that they're a little insane for making it seem like these are the ones that would help shape the regular season? Like, do you think Slayton and Banks actually would go ahead and be the deciding factor whether or not this season's good or not?
Deciding if they were solo by themselves, absolutely not. You're crazy. That's crazy talk. But if you're talking about Slayton may be like that perfect role as that Robin to Malik Nabors, and make a big difference that way. I do believe that he's consistently shown that he could be a pretty good receiver when asked to be the number one, when he's clearly not number one with terrible quarterback play. Yeah, he's a number two.
Yeah.
And now he's number two to Malik Nabors, who's going to be playing better, who's a legit number one with a prior legit number one quarterback.
Yeah.
That's going to be throwing the ball. So I think he could make a difference because he may he may be close to 1,000 yards and 700, 770 this year, just because of that. But when you talk about Banks,
just that you get rid of Banks and let's say he stinks. You're going to put Flott in there. Is there that much of a difference between Flott and Banks?
I mean, I'm pretty sure there was.
There
I want
was
to say like
2 years ago. Last year, I can't say that.
I mean, I
You
don't
know,
think
and
Banks
if
is. I think Banks is going to be switching his role. He's not going to be covering the number ones consistently.
oh no, he's definitely not.
Yeah,
Paulson Adebo is going to be doing that. That's why you're paying the big money. But what I'm just saying
yeah,
is, I don't think Banks failing is going to kill this defense. I think you put Flott in there at that point or somebody else, and all of a sudden, it's pretty much the same as it would have been because I just don't have that much faith
yeah. That's what
in
I'm saying. Like when it
in
comes to Banks,
Banks.
I don't agree. With Slayton, like it's going to make a break. Like I think he's definitely a solid asset.
Yes.
So like, because you will have to respect Slayton being out there, even though Malik's out there. Because
Well, that's
if you're putting all that coverage on, Malik, because he's the clear number one, you're going to leave the clear
yeah.
number two wide open, and because of that, usually that number two feasts to have that nice big
But I
old
feel like
there.
if Slayton, let's say Slayton isn't Slayton gets injured or whatever, and is gone. I feel like when you still have Neighbors, Wandale Robinson, and I think Theo Johnson's going to have, I don't say a breakout season, but he's going to have a decent season. I think those three is enough of a weapon, especially when you throw in the pass catching duo of Tracy and Scadaboo, and maybe a little Hyatt. I don't know. I don't want to put any egg in that basket whatsoever, but let's
Yeah,
at least say maybe Hyatt. Then that's still not a bad group. Like, I don't think he makes or breaks it. If you want to go like people like, you know, uh, you know, 50 under the radar players, okay, I get it. They're under the radar, but I feel like you're just making an article just to say, hey, this is people that people may not be thinking about, and that's what it boils down to.
I mean, yes, there's 100% a little bit on there, but like Slayton might give you enough edge to win a couple games where you may have not prior.
One
So
big
that to
catch.
me, would be
Yeah.
making, being the make player.
Yeah, and he's definitely the more important of the two, that's for damn sure.
Yeah.
I just can't think. I can't say either one of them are the ones who are going to probably help shape the regular season. There's a reason people are calling them under the radar because they're not talked about as much because they're probably not going to be over the radar. Like if we win, let's say a lot. Let's say hypothetically something crazy happens that we go at winning a record, look at playoffs, that kind of stuff. It's probably not going to be because of Slayton or Banks. It's probably going to be because of Neighbors. It's probably going to be because of Burns. It's probably going to be because of Carter or Dexter Lawrence
Oh,
or Russell Wilson playing better than expected. Or that's what's going to do it. The over the radar people, if we're not the under the radar people.
I get it. So, but the only reason why I give a little, pushback with Slayton is that, if he turns around and has, 850 yards this year, right, puts up an
Yeah,
extra, 150 yards, and then he's his best prior or 100 yards. That's going to be because everyone's double covering Neighbors, right?
yep.
So, who's our clear number one? So he gets a couple extra yards. He may get the winning touchdown because of that. Like they're gonna have to respect that, which then in turn will help Neighbors get more open, which will ultimately give us more passing yards, which ultimately give us more rushing yards. So like I think he's an important piece. Like, is he going to well? That's
Not
like
to
the
make or
borderline.
break the shape season though. That's the one thing. They say under the radar players who would help shape the regular season. I don't think
I
Slayton
think it's
is
fair.
helping to shape the regular season.
I think it's fair.
So
Thanks for watching. Like the show? Of course you do, or you would have turned it off by now and not be hearing me. There are plenty of ways to support the show. YouTube is the best place to join us, and we offer memberships there with fun benefits like custom emojis and early access to video clips. Of course, there you can also send super chats and stickers to send one-time support payments. The best way to support the show is to buy these drunk idiots beers at buymeacoffee.com/2giantgoofballs. Along with one-time support payments, there are also monthly plans, so you can continue to help kill their livers each month. You can also show people that you are a goofball by visiting our store at 2giantgoofballs-shop.fourthwall.com. We got everything from shirts, hats, phone cases, funny candles, buttons, stickers, and even a 2Giant Goofballs towel to dry off your goofballs. Of course, you can always support the show for free by simply hitting the like, subscribe, and share button wherever you are watching or listening to this. Hit the thumbs up on YouTube, leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, It helps the show tremendously, and quite frankly, the Goofballs suck at marketing and need your help to get the word out. Thank you for being part of the Goofball Army and for taking the time out to support the show.
If you like that clip, then you will love the full episodes too. Find us on your favorite podcast app and look for us on all your favorite social media platforms.
Thanks so much.
Please, I'm